What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, back with more Demon Bluff, and today we are going to play some more modded Demon Bluff, sticking with the 6 to 11 card villages. Maybe in the next one we'll do the 2 to 15 card villages just for some extra randomized, but I like the 6 to 11 range for now. And with my last video, I just did a tutorial for how to install this mod if you want to try it out yourself. And it is certainly random. Just be warned of that. This is a 7-card village with Minion as the only evil here. So this should be fairly easy, though there are 3 outcasts. So we're going to have a Plague Doctor Corrupted, and we're going to have a Drunk, and then we also have this Bombardier, of course. The Saint is a character that will damage you if it is evil or corrupted, I believe. And otherwise just winds up healing you for 3. But because we revealed it before taking any damage, I suppose it doesn't do anything. Interesting. Between 2, 7, and 6, there's an outcast, a villager, and a minion. And honestly, with so much corruption on the board, like this is either the Drunk, or it's the Plague Doctor Corrupted, or it is the minion, I feel like that just means that these are all villagers. That's kind of what I am feeling here. Let's see if we find the Plague Doctor. Oh, this is the Cleric. Oh, okay, well, I recycled the Saint artwork here, and this is my first time actually playing with the Cleric. I got a little bit confused. The Saint is just something that's always good, and maybe it can never even be, like, unlike the what is it called, the Confessor. I guess the Saint is just like straight up always good. So I've recycled the artwork here for the Cleric. Maybe I will change this out just so that way I don't get confused in the future. But the Cleric actually has an activated ability where it can heal 3 HP, but if it's corrupted, then it heals no HP, and if it's evil, then you lose 3 HP. Then kill this character. Honestly, kind of feels like that's worth going for, because we can get some good information there. The Knitter says there is only 1 pair of evil, but that's not possible. So at the very least, this is corrupted. Could they be Plague Doctor Corrupted, or could it simply actually be the minion that the bishop is pointing at? Let's see if the Druid gives us good info. There is a Bombardier, so that is good info, which kind of makes me think, well, this can't be the Drunk. I think this has to be the Plague Doctor Corrupted. Because if the Saint is always good, maybe the Saint could be the Drunk? I'm going to Plague Doctor check the Knitter. And we're going to learn that 4 is evil and 7 is corrupted. I guess that's the downside of playing such a small board. Let's check to see if 4 is evil by activating the Cleric. At the very least, we get some... I mean, if this is the evil person, then the board is sorted. So, yeah, there we go. The minion will kill itself. And there is a nice little Cleric demonstration. That's why I wanted to do another video of 6 to 11 card villages, just because I feel like there's still some things to explore yet here. And this is a Lilith game. I'll make myself a little smaller so y'all can peep the Lilith action here. And we've got a Bombardier. This could be our only outcast. It is possibly worth checking, but even if the Druid says no, I'm not going to trust the Druid, because the Druid could be a liar, right? Let's flip over some more things. Oh, wow, we've got a pair of Druids. All right, well, we do have a Shaman, but I'm going to check the Bombardier and the other Druids. There are no outcasts. Now, what do you have to say for yourself? There is a Drunk. But the Drunk is not something that's possible on this board. So, How could both of these be corrupted? I think we have to kill the druids here. Corrupted. Corrupted druid. So that means we have a plague doctor. If this is a corrupted druid, the only way that we can have corruption is through a plague doctor. I'm going to kill the bombardier. Whew, that's spooky. That's spooky. All right, and that means that this was actually just good information. This was the shaman created druid. This was the shaman disguising itself as a bombardier. All right, fair enough. We've solved part of the board. Maybe we should have waited for some more information. I'm always a little gung-ho in a Lilith game, but let's get to flipping. 1 or 10 is a shaman. We know that this information is bad, and we know that we have our Plague Doctor corruption accounted for. This could be the puppeteer. That makes this the puppet. And we did not get any information out of this. Oh, pick 2 characters. What makes you pick 2 characters? It is the fortune teller, right? So let's see if we learn that there is an evil among 8 or 9. We do. We do. So Lilith sits between 8 and 9 because the puppet is going to give us true info there. All right, let's see if we can find the Plague Doctor. Oh, if the Plague Doctor's here. 2 is the real bombardier. Well, that's a lie. So I think that this is our Plague Doctor and this is Lilith. Let's learn how many characters between these are evil. All 3. Yeah, this is Lilith. This is our Plague Doctor. No, that's a knitter. This was our Plague Doctor. Wow. Yeah, Lilith disguising the Plague Doctor is super, super evil. But we were still able to solve that one. Luckily, this time we've got Lilith and Puka. And this is something that can happen with the extra randomized mod. You can just get 2 demons rather than getting 1 demon and some number of minions. It's just all totally random. The logic kind of goes out the window, which is why I don't think I want to mess around too much with this mod. I think I want to get back into some vanilla demon bluff, just because like we've seen some crazy villages. There was a comment that said this is like a Legion game because everybody on the board was evil. It was kind of ridiculous. This says the left side is more evil, so we're going to turn over some things on the right. Learn that 8 is a real gem crafter. Sure, I'll buy it. 5 is good. Sure, let's keep on following this line of thought. And we learn that this confessor is dizzy. Well, if this confessor is dizzy, they are either the Puka or they are sat next to the Puka. If they're sat next to the Puka, it ain't 6 that is the Puka. Now, how would this also get bad information and this get bad information? No. That's not possible. This could be the Puka corrupting the gem crafter, and this is Lilith. That's still very possible. I'm going to flip over 3. I'm fairly confident that 3 is good. Between 4, 5, and 3, these 3, there is a demon, an outcast, and a villager. Huh. So we're going to need to find a doppelganger. However, the doppelganger can never be corrupted by the Puka. So we need to find a bishop or a confessor, but Lilith might be able to hide that bishop or confessor. So that could be tricky. The dreamer. All right, we are going to be able to finish flipping up the board. Another dizzy confessor, which kind of makes you think this is the doppelganger, but the Puka cannot corrupt a doppelganger. It only corrupts villagers. So that's a little bit tricky. Yeah, I think that this is actually our doppelganger. This is our villager. And I think this might just be the evil team. This would be the Puka corrupting the gem crafter and the bishop. 6, 8, and 9. 6, 8, and 9 would be all villagers. Yeah, it's got to be that then. All right, so this is the Lilith. And then this is the Puka. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Only 2 evils, no outcasts on this board, but the mutant is kind of like a drunk more than it is actually like a demon, because it says I kill during the night. I haven't seen that be possible. Maybe if you have mutant plus Lilith, then the mutant can kill during the night, but as far as I've seen, the mutant basically just acts as the drunk. It deals 5 damage to you if you kill it, which means that all we are looking for here is the shaman. That's all that we need. And the saint's always good, so I'm going to ignore her. The judge is good. The knight with no corruption. Ooh, no, we can't fortune teller. I really want to get the fortune teller achievement. I might just like grind that out specifically in an upcoming... Yeah, we're gonna talk about this in just a moment. I might grind out for the fortune teller achievement in an upcoming video, but unfortunately, because the mutant registers as good, the fortune teller won't be able to finger 2 evils in this one. I think we're just gonna slam a knife into these bakers here. Yeah, I mean, there's no corruption. What's the shaman created? It is the gem crafters are shaman created. And unfortunately, you know what? We could probably get some more information. No, there's no outcasts. I guess we just use the fortune teller. If the fortune teller tells us that there's an evil there, then this is the shaman. This is going to be the mutant. Perfect. Next up, we have a pretty evil board. Okay, there's going to be, wow, a lot going on here. First things first, we will not be able to flip the final card until we find the witch. There will be 2 outcasts because one of them will be made by the counselor. There will be some Puka corruption. And then we will have an additional double claim via the shaman. There's the bombardier. I'm gonna skip the 2 seats next to the bombardier because that could be a spot for the counselor. So we'll circle back on those later. 1 is evil, 2, 4, or 7. Let's skip 4 then as well, even though there's 2 things currently pointing at 4. Ooh. I kind of want to kill into these witches. However, I think we actually have a bit of a logic puzzle here already, because, well, no. Yeah, if so, never mind. If 3 is the witch, that just means that 7 is good, which, yeah, is totally reasonable. If 7 is the witch, then that actually checks out with this info as well. But it is good to have some tabs on the witch for right now. Also, 1 is evil between 3, 5, and 10. But this could be our shaman pair. It's currently our only shaman pair, but it could also just be... Well, the fact that the Empress is in one of these Empress numbers... Yeah, some interesting stuff. Let's skip 7, jump to 8. If this is the drunk, that's not good for us. If this is sat next to a Puka, that's also not great for us. Let's move along here for our 3rd Empress, which tells us 2, 3, or 5. Starting to feel like these Empresses are just pointing at the good players, just because, like, but I don't know, like 3 and 5 coming up multiple times... 2 coming up multiple times? It seems tough. Let's flip over number 10. It's in this Empress info, but this hunter could be pointing at the counselor. Or also a counselor could be sat next to the Empress in any capacity, creating a doppelganger. That's tough. I'm hoping that someone just straight up outs themselves with some crazy, crazy info. Well, sure. That's not crazy info, but it does mean that the puka specifically cannot be here. Puka could be here. Puka could be here. But this knight is looking a little bit better to stab because of that. This also cannot be the confessor, which makes it a little bit more... Oh, and that means that the witch... This is probably a pretty good stab then. We get a lot of information by killing this Empress because we know that this isn't the witch. So if this isn't the witch, then this is bad info. And that could really open up some things. Jester is going to be useful in a minute. Let's flip over number 2. All right. Well, one of these two is a baddie. Awkward. That's tricky. That's tricky. I'm going to stab number 3. Because if number 3 is bad, then we can clear number 2, 4, and 7. Doppelganger. Shoot. Well, there is a pretty big temptation here for me to stab the poet. However, I don't... was that just a mistake? That was a mistake because the Empress now has to be our shaman pair. I mean, we don't know what this is, but I feel like this actually has to be our shaman pair. All right. Well, having said that then... 2, 3, or 5. I feel like 5 is evil. This is pointing at 5. This is pointing at 5. I'm going to stab 5. It could be a Puka corrupted character. That is the downside here. That is the downside. If we want to play this really safe, we can Jester and check these 3, and the Jester should tell us exactly 1 is evil. Or we could even Jester check like Doppelganger, Saint, Empress. And we should learn a 0. If I'm going to go out, I should 50-50 a Bombardier, right? I don't know if this hunter is pointing at 11 or lying. I don't know where the Puka corruption is. I really want to stab the poet. I think I should maybe Jester check first. Sure, I'll Jester check. There are 3 evils. So you're corrupted, which means this could be the Puka. I think I actually have to kill the Jester now. That's the Puka, which means that this information is wrong and we're not going to be able to discern why. All I know is that 3, 6, and 7, was not 3 evils. Well, we found the Puka, which means this is free. Okay. Cool. Was there anyone pointing at the shaman? No. No, there was not. Was there anyone pointing at the Puka? Yes. 2, 7, and 4. You are good. You are good. This Bombardier is good. This Bombardier is the counselor. Great. And this might be where the buck kind of stops, unfortunately. Wait. Maybe we can get some more out of this. 3, 10, or 5. It's not Puka corrupted. How about this one? 2, 3, or 5. They're both pointing at 5. I've got to kill 5. That's the witch. That's going to let us flip this baker telling us that it's a dreamer. I think that this hunter might be correct and that this baker is actually the Ba. What else is possible? Nah, I'm going to go for that. This is the Ba. Whew, that was a really, really close village, I feel like, with double bombardiers, and I was off base at first. I thought that this bombardier was the good one because somebody had said, I think that this had pointed at number 2 being evil. It kind of threw me off there. But yeah, we were able to solve that one fairly well, I think. Now this one has 5 evils. This is the exact same setup here, just with only 8 things on the board. And what's interesting about this is I feel like these boards could potentially even be easier. Because, take a stab in the dark here, most of these people are going to be evil. Or the drunk. So you really can't miss. Like, the hunter is probably just right, because how could they not be one away from the closest evil? How could they not be? It would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 evils, or like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're an evil. But I feel like between 2 and 8, we do have an evil, probably. Plague Doctor is not on the board. So, oh, okay, this is just a visual bug here then. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, we've got the same board as last time. After a refresh, we have a slightly different board here. Shaman, Counselor, Puka, Hypnotist, and Witch. We do still have a Witch, that's important. And Hypnotist makes 1 random villager an unknown minion. Well, hold on. Hold on now. Because that hasn't happened. There's only 5 evils. Huh. Now, if that didn't happen, is that because the counselor made 3 outcasts first, and this board is literally 3 outcasts and then 5 evils? I think so. What does a doppelganger do if it's the only outcast? What does a counselor do if there's not more outcasts available in the deck? I'm not sure to either of those questions. Maybe there needs to be 1 villager. Oh, this number's wrong too. There's clearly not 5 villagers. There is maybe just 1 villager here. Let's flip over as much as we can. I'm actually going to treat all information as bad information here. So this, that would make this an evil. Yeah, okay. Cured 1 corruption. That we know actually is possible. Dang it, because of the Puka. Shoot. 1 of these 3 has to not get flipped. And I need to find a doppelganger. Huh. So, I think that this one's probably evil, because this Enlighten is probably evil, so let's finish off with 4. Oh, okay, so I had heard someone talking about this on Discord. There are 2 there's either a bug going on right now, or we, like, have 2 witches. I don't think that's the case. I'm going to try to solve this to the best of my ability. But this is tough. I mean, at the very least, we could just start stabbing, right? That's the Puka. You could be Puka corrupted. Well, I'll put down my knife then. But the fact that you said closest evil counterclockwise. No, that means you're more likely to be good. And you are evil. This has to be evil. That's the Witch. Is that going to let me flip this? Not yet. Not yet. Now, the Alchemist could only cure corruption from the Puka. That's the only corruption. Oh, the Plague Doctor corruption. Shoot. I think that this Hunter has to be real. I'm going to kill some Alchemists here. There's the Hypnotist. Yeah, like I said, at the very least, it's hard to go wrong. I think actually the Psychic is proven good, so let's Plague Doctor check the Psychic. We're going to learn that 4 is evil. Oh, it won't let me. Puppeteer. Puppet. 5 out of 7 evil killed. Wait, 7 evil killed. Huh. So I'm going to try to logic this through. But if all of these things are evil, I mean, I was told this was corrupted and that 4 was evil. It could just be that both of these are evil. Well, it won't let me kill 4, so I guess I'm going to kill this and this. Sure. All right, there is modded Demon Bluff in a nutshell. That was absolutely wild. I'm going to take myself off the screen here just to get a clean screenshot of this, potentially for the thumbnail. Modded Demon Bluff is nuts or something. Maybe that's the title. I don't know. I don't want to spoil this absolute monstrosity. But let's play one more and see if we can finish off on a slightly more normal note. We've got a Poisoner, a Purifier, and a Minion, and a Plague Doctor. So here we could potentially see the Purifier doing something interesting. Number 10 was affected by an evil. Ooh, so the affected by an evil could be that it's poisoned or could be that it's purified. That's pretty spicy. The fact that it was affected by an evil means that it probably is good. Can learn who is the puppet, corrupted character by evil. I think probably we can learn a cured character by evil as well. Villager turned into an outcast by a counselor, sure. Cloned character by a shaman who was killed by an evil. So many different things that could be there. Dreamer. Let's just go randomly across the board here to the Cleric. I'll wait and take a stab first. Ooh, Fortune Teller. Could I potentially unlock the achievement? Seems somewhat unlikely. No Witch means we can flip over everything and means that we have an evil sat between one of these two. Poisoner is 3 cards away from the closest evil. That is tough. We don't have a shaman, nor do we have a doppelganger. 2 double claims saying the exact same information, plus 10, one of them sitting next to what is a witness affected card. I think that both of these probably have to be evil. I kind of want to just stab them, because if we're wrong, we can heal with the Cleric. Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, this could actually be a good Oracle with poisoned info right now. Poisoner 3 away from the closest evil. 1, 2, 3. So it can't be the Scout. 1, 2, 3. It could be the Cleric. Let's have the Slayer test the Oracle. Could not kill 8. I'm going to say good and corrupted. Now, both characters 10 and 5 have to be good. Bombardier has to be bad. Whew, that's always spooky. That's always spooky. We are also going to Plague Doctor check the Oracle. Learn that 9 is evil again. Sure. Sure. We know that the Dreamer is going to be wrong, but that they were corrupted. So I think we'll just leave these alone. The Cleric could be bad. Oh, let's try this. Evil, true. Did we get the achievement? Possibly. 1, 2, 3. I guess I'm just going to have the Cleric activate. I think it has to be that the Cleric is evil. There we go. Cleric was evil, and we got the Fortune Teller achievement. I thought that was going to be its own separate video, but we were able to get it done playing some modded Demon Bluff. Sounds good to me. That is going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Luck's Given. Peace.